So it is that on the second day of April at 9 o'clock a.m. It is now, will now be part of the history book. I don't ever remember a legislative session that was so focused by both sides of the aisle, by both sides of the rotunda, on the future. You know, we've spent years at Scratch and Patch. We've spent years saying this is what we're going to do this year. This is what we're going to do this year. You know, I said when the task force came forward with the 5-year plan that we were writing the initial year in pencil, and then when we could agree on everything, we would write it in ink. We would write it in permanent ink. And, you know, I have no doubt, as some of the speakers have already said, this is the beginning. And there's going to be some adjustments, and there's going to be some additional collaboration that's going to be needed in order to move this forward. And we're counting on the Department of Education. We're counting on all the stakeholders to use that same wisdom and that same magic that they brought to the negotiating table, that they brought to the innovative table in order to create this bill. And so all I can tell you is I know what's in their hearts. I feel what's in their hearts, and they are satisfied that this is a good beginning. And I think they fully recognize that there's going to be some adjustments along the way, and that we're going to have to use that same Idaho determination to make sure that we fulfill the promise for over the next 5 years that this started.
So as a follow-up, are you committing today that you will be proposing as governor full funding for this plan each year as long as you're governor?
I am committing that I am going to be proposing full funding within our means.
We have always supported raises for teachers, and the changes that were made was an example of how willing all the folks were coming to the table to work together to make this happen. So in moving forward, the State Department of Education will be responsible for implementing this, and so we just want folks to know that we are going to have a team put together if they have questions at the State Department to help them at the district level and at the local level.
What the governor just signed today is a framework, and it is, by design, it is not all that prescriptive in nature. So what does that mean? It means, and this is the challenge, for our educators to do what they do best, to innovate, to go out there and touch the minds and hearts of our kids. And I'm confident that because of the framework that we've established, that the expectations that have been set for this piece of legislation will far be exceeded.